Once upon a time, there was a brash outsider. That there was. He entered the Oval Office, along with an industrialist, yes, with a promise to drain the swamp. That's what they said. He brought in a posse of business people, led by, Elon Musk, to work like tireless bloodhounds. That they did. To root out all the inefficiencies in the Washington's vast bureaucracy. They call it dogging. I thought that was something else. But anyway, it's the Department of Government Efficiency. Well, unfortunately for them, I think they might have bitten off more than they can chew. If they want to try and maintain any kind of, how to put it, functioning civil service in the United States. Anyway, well, yeah, please boop the old like button. Oh dear. Well, what can you say? If you want to support the chat, you do on Patreon or buy us a coffee. But you see, I've been doing a little bit of research, so I came across an article. Yeah, and it goes on about old Ronald Reagan, it does, yeah. And his Grace Commission, this is back in 1982. And it began its quest to get rid of hundreds of billions of dollars of wasteful spending. It weren't easy, no. Much like President-elect Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, the advisory board led by the entrepreneur and right-wing nut job. Yeah. Oh, crikey, it's autism. It's got nothing to do with the fact he's on drugs. No, it's autism. Of course it is. Yeah. Entrepreneurs Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever his name is. Anyway, the Grace Commission had no authority to implement the changes, though. Just like dogging. Yeah, dogger. They can only advise. And after a couple of years of work, the Grace Commission's 150 plus members, yeah, that sounds a bit bloated, 150 plus members, persuaded Congress to enact exactly 0 of its recommendations. Now, Elon Musk says, I'm going to get rid of a third, 33% of the cost of the civil service. 33%. Yeah. He's going to get rid of $2 trillion. He's going to save it, in other words. No, he ain't. He's dreaming. He's in flipping cuckoo land. That one, he's been on chasing the old dragon or doing something. Well, you can't find any evidence that they could change the growth of the government one iota, says Douglas Holtz-Eakin, president of the Center of the right-wing think tank, the American Action Forum, and he told, this was on CNN, this was, and there are lots of little examples of successes by the group, he said, but I think you should ask Elon and Vivek what makes them different from the Grace Commission. How are they any different than other things that were unsuccessful? I'll tell you one thing about Elon Musk. He's ruthless. He's not a moral man. He don't give a damn if you got kids to feed and a wife to keep in the means that she's accustomed to, or he. Whatever. Oh, crikey. Have I got any pronouns or something? I don't know. I wouldn't mind if we have to be honest. In 2024, as in 1882, there is a broad consensus that the federal budget is bloated. Just like our civil service in the UK. It is bloated. But it's bloated for a good reason. It's bloated because we've blinking well crippled ourselves with Brexit. And now we've got all these blooming trade deals that we're trying to negotiate with Tom, Dick and Harry. Even though it's not doing us a lot of good considering the EU's just managed to negotiate a trade deal with, well, you could say it's probably the second, well, what I think it's the second largest trade bloc. It's huge. I might make a video about that. So anyway, economists on the left and the right told CNN they'd welcome any good faith effort to reduce the deficit and tackle government spending, but so far neither Musk nor Ramaswamy seem to grasp the complexities of the 6.8 trillion US budget. How would they know? How would they know? They don't know anything about that budget. They need to analyse the budgets. They're making kind of just statements out of the air. They're just making it up as they go along because they don't have a flipping clue about the budget and what the money is used for. We keep pretending the federal budget is like sitting at the kitchen table figuring out the family's finances, said Holtz-Eakin, a former advisor to John McCain's 2008 campaign and budget chief under the President George W. Bush. He says that's a lie. It's a fifth of the economy, and it's very, very difficult to manage and to restructure. And they're finding that out. Now, the math problem is that Musk and Ramaswamy will face an immediate math challenge with finding a way to severely slash spending, especially if they commit to $2 trillion figure Musk has tossed around. It's literally just out of the air. It's just make-believe, isn't it, really? And roughly 60% of the federal government's budget comprises of what's known as mandatory spending. Not something they can do anything about, like pensions and stuff like that. Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. You can't do a lot about that, can you? I know! Just let them heal on their own. That'll do it, yeah. Yeah, don't worry about things. Just give them some antibiotics and they'll be fine. Send them home with some penicillin. That'll do the job. Or maybe, even better, get some, I don't know, I don't know what else. Just give them a mouldy bread. That'll do it. Yeah, I do want buy penicillin and make it themselves. It would be a political suicide to dramatically cut funding for those safety net programs, which is why there is no appetite in Congress to do so. Now, Trump has promised to protect Social Security. No, he won't. Another 10% of the budget is spent on paying interest on Uncle Sam's a mountain of debt, which currently stands at around 36 trillion. And 800 odd billion of that goes to China. Yeah, no, it goes to China, sorry. $1 billion of that goes to China in interest payments on the 800 billion that China has lent the US. It used to be the other way around, you know. China used to borrow money from the US and other places, you know, a part of their debt to build their economy. And now it's the other way around. We're borrowing off them. The world has turned. Well, you are anyway. And actually, so are we in the UK, to be fair. That's the national debt for you. So we're helping with interest payments, which is basically a profit on the money that they've lent you. Is going towards the Red Army. Yeah, so they can fight you. Oh, you see the irony here. So that leaves around 30% of the budget that's discretionary, but roughly half of that goes to defence spending, another area that would be challenging to dramatically cut. Removing $2 trillion in annual spending will be exceedingly difficult without touching mandatory spending, which would require lawmakers to make the tough choices that they will have to either unwilling or unable to make. And Isaac Boltstansky, Director of Policy Research at the BTIG, wrote in a recent report to clients, and non-defence discretionary spending has already been dialed back already. It's probably the same in the UK as well. We're always making cuts. It's a case of there's no more cream left. We're already cut back as far as we can go without actually getting rid of services. So this is why Zandi said he's sceptical that focusing on a government efficiency could generate $2 billion a year in additional savings, let alone $2 trillion. Musk said in October that he could cut at least $2 trillion, but he didn't specify if he meant annually or over a period of time. Oh, God, there we go. Yeah. It's all in the small print, isn't it? So the idea that they are going to make any headway on this is for the birds. It really is for the birds. These people are just hoodwinking the MAGA lot. But, we know what it's like. If If you lack of thinking and all that, vote against your own best interest, just like those idiots in the UK who voted for Brexit. Yes, if you voted for something that's against your best interest, whether you're a farmer, a fisherman, or just an ordinary geezer gal or whatever, well then, quite frankly, you're an idiot. You can't say that, they tell me. Sod on. I'll say it as I see it. And if people don't like it, it's tough tea. They can always go somewhere else, can't they? Anyway, if it's kind of beat the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. And the little bell icon there, the subscribe button, there you go. Tickle that, yeah, tickly pink. And you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. Oh dear. The world has gone mad, and that has. And so have I.